It was the superhighway of its time, and for 59 years during the 1800s, it spanned 900 miles, stretching from Independence, Missouri, USA, to Santa Fe, Mexico. Welcome, partner, to the Santa Fe Trail, a.k.a. the Great Prairie Highway.
We were part of Spain from the time the first conquistador came here in 1598 until we became part of Mexico. And when we were part of Spain, we were allowed to trade only with Spain through Mexico City on the Camino Real. Then we became, after the Mexican Revolution, part of Mexico, and the Mexicans felt it was greatly to their benefit to open up trade with the eastern part of the United States. So that's when the Santa Fe Trail opened, and it opened up Santa Fe to other parts of the United States.
Hollywood and books have often romanticized life on the trail, the trek being full of peril and adventure. The reality of the 8-week-plus journey was often tedium mixed in with an occasional sighting of a pronghorn or bison. Today, heading west from Kansas City, you will encounter occasional remnants from the trail, including areas where you can still witness the ruts from the wagon wheels. Also still standing are remains of forts which were built to support the trail.
The eastern part of the United States wanted to have a presence, and so that presence was in fort life in this part of the world. Later, about 20 years after the trail opened, we became a territory of the United States. So this was just this sort of westward movement by the United States government in D.C.
One of the more colorful stops along the Santa Fe Trail is Bent's Fort, built by the enterprising Bent brothers in 1833.
The original was here from 1833 to 1849 as a trading post.
The outpost served as a much-needed replenishment stop for the fur traders, commerce travelers, and Indians for 16 years. This rebuilt fort has also been used by Hollywood for such films as How the West Was Won and Centennial.
There were two trails. One was shorter but more mountainous, and the other one was flatter, but there was a greater likelihood of flooding and less water.
One of the more haunting and impressive stops along the trail today is the remains of the military installation Fort Union in northern New Mexico. It served as a military fort and hospital from 1851 to 1891, when it was left to decay for over 60 years, until the national parks took it over in the 1950s. After the 8-week journey over this dusty and often difficult trail, the payoff was the unique city of Santa Fe. The end of the trail is clearly marked and actually ends at the town square, which is still an area of excitement and beauty.
Well, the plaza was already there. Our city was built following the methods or the layout that the Spanish used from early on. And so Spanish laid out towns always had a plaza. So our plaza was always there in front of the Palace of the Governors and was a big enough space for large trading expeditions to show their wares.
The closing of the Santa Fe Trail was pretty swift, with railroad tracks taking over in the southwest. The trail quickly eroded into a series of roadside stops along the highway, but its impact on the history of this country and Mexico's will never be forgotten.
Life to the Max is brought to you by Life Touch, photography for a lifetime.